So it's 3 o'clock and let's go and find Terry. Are you ready?
Yeah, but 3 o'clock
it
already.
Is.
I'll just pick it. It's the same wallpaper that as Blonde Joyce has got. Afternoon from Stepford. Oh, God. What a week it's been. Have we got anybody there yet? No.
Not as yet.
Not a soul.
Lee Leby.
Oh, Lee Levy's there. Hello, Lee, my darling. First off the mark today. Fabulous. Well, we've got a really, really easy and good one for you today. Lost that much weight. My jeans are falling down. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll go through to the kitchen. Is anybody else there yet?
Hi, Lee. Lee, say hello.
Hi, Lee.
There's loads there just saying hi.
Oh, right. Well, I love everybody that said hi. If anybody sends a message, David will tell me. So we've got a fabulous one.
Michael Graham said, hope you've got lots of top tips today.
Yeah.
Hi, Jane.
Might have top tips. I might just have a tip. How's everybody's week been anyway? Has everybody had a good week? Mine's been hectic as per. Even the pinnies are too big for me now. So I'm going to do cookies this week. But the cookies that everybody had asked me to do before.
Charles said hello.
Who said? Charles. Hello, my darling. Where are you? France, Spain? Let me know. I'm going to do 2 cookies for you this week. The ones that everybody actually requested weeks ago. And I know other people have asked me to do things, like my friend Mary Burgess. Hi Mary, if you're watching. She keeps asking me to do the carrot cake. I will get round to it, I promise. It's just I've got that many things that people have said, can you please do that one, can you do that one, because I get the messages. I thought I'd do these this week. So these are really easy, and you're going to need a mixer. If you've not got a mixer, you've got a lot of work in front of you, but I assume everybody's got a mixer now. And it doesn't have to be a great big one, it can be like my little Chefette Kenwood one thing. It doesn't make any difference. But
Is it? One, Charles in Barcelona.
Is it always in Barcelona? I thought you were going to Paris, Charlie. Still in Barcelona? Well. Right then, so we're going to make the first one. If you ask something, just David will stop me halfway if you want to ask a question or say something. We're going to do...
Michael Reed.
Yeah?
Finally caught you. It's 8 AM here in Origin football.
Yeah? It's 8 AM in Orange, yeah. Hi Michael, how are you? So it's really, really early for you.
Maggie said you look amazing. Maggie, sorry about the bus yesterday.
What? Was it Maggie Gardner?
Yeah.
I am Maggie, thank you darling.
It was so funny.
What, did you throw her off the bus?
No, she missed it.
Oh, she missed it. Oh, that's nice.
It was having to as we went past.
These are evil, Max. Absolutely evil. Mind you, there again, Meg. I have seen you when you look like you've been shagged on the back of the 76 bus and then flung off at the traffic lights at Tesco, so I know the feeling.
Aidan's watching, said good afternoon.
Hi, Aidan. Hello, my darling. So the first ones we're going to make for you are very much like Viennese whirls-ish. You all know what a Viennese whirl is. It's like the piped one, or sort of like a Dutch cookie. But these are called melting moments.
Charles said he has a house there also.
Yeah, I know you have a house there also, but I just assumed you were in Paris.
Loads of people saying good afternoon. Hi from Scotland, James Smith.
Hi James, hello darling, how are you? You're going back to Gran Canaria soon, aren't you, love?
Phil said hi, your nanny.
Which Phil? Phil and Liam?
Phil, yeah.
Oh, that was quick. There was a fleeting visit. Phil and Liam have just called to drop me off a little present from Lockerbie.
5 to 3.
Where they've just been at 5 to 3. And they could have stayed through the film. You could have been my special guest. If you want to come back and have coffee and try the cookies when they bake.
Maggie said piss off.
That's nice. That's nice talk, isn't it, from the staff at the airport.
Maggie, it was hilarious.
Right, so these are called melting moments, and they're very much, as I said, like a Viennese cookie, and it's so easy to make, and so little ingredients. The thing I'll tell you about this is first, don't make this in large amounts.
Jamie John said hi from Spain.
Hi Jamie, where in Spain are you, sweetheart?
M-A-N-I-L-V-A. Manliva?
Manliva? Yeah, I know where he is. Are you at the Pride thing there? Because you do that, don't you? I'm not too sure where you are.
Emmalina said the Dior top looks amazing and the hair.
Thank you, darling. Now I've lost weight. You see, I've not worn this top. I'll be honest and truthful with this top.
1970, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't 1970. I haven't worn this top since I worked at Busby's in Benalmadena. So it's got to be over 8 years ago, the last time I wore it. And it was far too small for me at the time. And my bust was that big, it didn't just say Dior, it said Dior all the way across it, so I stopped wearing it.
Philco said your baps look fab today.
Thank you,
Have you had them plumped up?
No, I've not had them plumped up, they're just perky. So, I forgot where I'm going now with this.
Cookies.
People obsessed with my boobies and tops and God knows what else. Right, the cookies, there's so few ingredients, but I've halved the quantity because I found out that when I make this, it's a cookie dough that's better if you make it in small amounts and bake them in small amounts, because you don't want to chill it. You can't chill this cookie dough. You can freeze it as a raw dough, but you can't just chill it and then use it from the fridge, okay? So it's better to use it in small amounts to keep the shortness, and then, you know, instead of making bulk. And you know, as I said, you could freeze it, but I wouldn't if I was you, because it's a small amount. So you're going to start in your mixer, and there are 6.5 ounces of butter at room temperature. It must be at room temperature. Don't use it cold, okay? And then on top of that is 2.5 ounces of confectioner's sugar, icing sugar, okay? That goes in your mixer. You're going to get noise now, but this isn't as noisy. That's why we bought this. It's not as noisy as the Kenwoods, so I can actually probably talk over you. You're going to turn it on, use a guard, because if you don't, you're going to end up with a cloud.
Tracy Austin.
Yeah, our Tracy. Hello, darling.
Kitty says hi.
Hiya, Kitty.
Maggie, I gathered it was meant for me.
Sister Dora's here as well, Trace. Right, turn your mixer on high speed.
Lee Leby said salted or unsalted butter.
It can be either, Lee. I actually like salted. I don't like unsalted butter. I know a lot of recipes say unsalted butter. If it's unsalted, I will specify that. I don't like unsalted butter. I think the salt in the butter gives a nicer texture and a bit more flavour. Because a lot of recipes do require you to put salt in. So if I'm using salt in it, I wouldn't use salted butter, if you understand what I mean. While that's beating, I'll show you exactly what to make.
Yeah, can I have one?
Yeah, of course you can, darling.
Well,
those are the ones we're going to make second. They're peanut butter cookies. And those ones, these are the beanies, the melting moment. So get a little in on that. You see, and they're so light and short. Also, I just thought I'd use the silver biscuitaire that David got for Fortnum and Mason's at Christmas. Like I needed one, yeah. So if you want the butter and the icing sugar to go in there and leave it to whip until it becomes very light and pale and white, okay? And sort of quarter of the way through like that, give your bowl a bit of scrape down, yeah? Don't. If you've got one of those ridiculous American mixers that have those things that go around the edge of the bowl that scrape it down, still scrape it down, because you get a lot of residue of the sugar to the top of the bowl, and if you don't have every bit of it incorporated, it's not going to work. As I keep telling you, cooking is an art, baking is a science. Go on, somebody's going to ask you a question. I can talk about your face.
I've got my mouth full.
Oh, well, that makes a change.
Well, Gary said it's like watching Blue Peter. He's one I prepared earlier.
Well, yeah, they always want to prepare earlier. Which Gary is that?
Carrington.
Oh, hello, Gary. How are you, my darling? So nice to hear from you. Don't forget, I'll tell you at this point, don't forget next week we haven't got a show because it's Mothering Sunday next week, so we've not got a show next week, but I'll tell you what's happening the week after once we sit down with coffee. So that's just sort of coming now to a nice white pale. You want it to be white and pale and fluffy, okay? So it's nicely combined. David will come in and show
Anthony said you've pinched that top from Elsie Bamford.
It's not Elsie Bamford at all. There, can you see? It's got a white, very, very white consistency. Into that, you're going to put a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I eyeball it because I'm that used to doing it. So you want a teaspoon of vanilla extract.
Gary said it's very well.
Good.
Seeing you, my darling.
Oh, thank you, my darling. Then it's 6.5 ounces of plain flour. Yeah. And it is 2 ounces of cornstarch. What's cornstarch in the UK? Corn flour.
Corn flour, yeah.
I couldn't think what it was then. So that's 6.5 of plain flour and 2 of cornstarch, okay? And then back on. And then whip up to high speed. See, I put the guard on and I've not put the plunger in the front, so I'm actually still getting a cloud, so I'm proving a point.
Tracy's missed the beginning. What are you cooking, she said. She was washing up.
You were washing up? Well, why isn't Dave doing the washing up? Or why, for God's sake, have you not got a dishwasher?
Our Tracy.
Yeah, which Tracy?
My Tracy.
Tracy Ann. Which one?
Allswick, from
Right.
Birmingham, my cousin.
I thought you meant the other Tracy who said it was Sister Dora.
No.
I was just checking, right. We're making cookies, Trace, okay? These ones are called Melting Moments, so you'll have to watch the recap to get the quantities, okay? Make sure you scrape it all
So next
off.
time, Tracy, watch from 3 o'clock.
Yes.
Balls to the washing up.
Advertisements going on. Do you think this is stood here like one of Lewis's waiting for you lot? Right. I need the beater to go back on because we're going to use
Angela
it.
May said Mary Berry.
What?
Mary Berry.
Who said of Mary Berry?
Angela May.
Angela May did. I don't really like Mary Berry. The claw. No. I'll swallow other people. Fanny Craddock, you know, gorgeous domestic goddesses, but not Mary Berry. No. Right, you're going to need a piping bag with a 12 gauge star nozzle. Okay? If you've not got a piping bag, don't worry, use it by teaspoonfuls, but you're not going to get that shape, okay? It'll still bake the same, but you're not going to get that shape. And fill your piping bag with the basket.
Gary, it's all cream.
What's cream?
Gary said, David, just tell us without Nana hearing what work has she had done. She's looking even better lately and I can't put my finger on it. She's like Lulu, it's all cream.
Well, if you tune in, you're going to hear about the special show that we're going to do that you've probably read about anyway, not next week, the week after, and then you'll be able to ask me, won't you? And I've said I will tell the truth. So, fill your piping bag, make sure it's right down to the bottom and twist off. If you can hear a noise, that's Jackson licking an empty bowl. Okay, you're going to need a cookie sheet with some greaseproof, the baking parchment. I keep saying greaseproof, it's not greaseproof. Your greaseproof will slide back, and the trick is just to get a little bit of, tiniest bit in each corner. Right. And you're going to pipe these on.
Mag's Killer. Hi Terry, do you have a website where you can find these recipes, please?
Yeah, all the recipes, as we finish filming the show live, it then goes onto YouTube, and I have a YouTube channel. So all the recipes, all the programs, plus the house ones, how to lay a table, how to make a bed, how to fold towels, because I get loads of questions about towels, you know, people rolling towels to put in a bathroom. The most hideous thing I've ever seen in my life, you know, we're not going to Broughton baths. Towels should be folded a specific way. So they're all on there anyway. And you get the link to it when the show finishes live. The link will go onto my Facebook page within about 20-30 minutes of it finishing. So you're going to pipe these round. Do you want to come on to that, David? So you can actually see. You've not got to be absolutely precise, but don't make them
Looks very thick, that.
like that one. Of course it's very thick. That one's too thin. That one will burn.
Well, I'll have that.
Okay? So...
Pipe in circles then, Lee Lieben said.
Yeah, you can, I mean, if you don't want to do a circle, Lee, you could do a completely different shape. You know, it's entirely up to you. And you don't get an awful lot from each section of dough. This is why I've said make it. What we'll do is with that one, we'll make it a little bit thicker with some that's left. Okay? You're not got, you know, as I've said, it's not rocket science. You've not got to make these look like they're coming out of Hart Bakeries. It's supposed to look homemade. Okay? Right, they're going to go into my oven's fan, as you all know. They're going to go in the oven at 180. Do not leave them, okay? These will only take around 10 to 12 minutes to bake. So don't put them in and then go and start laying the fire, or answering the door to the coalman, or going on the phone, or, you know, or getting a bottle of Lanry and cleaning out the backyard. You can't do that. Got to keep an eye on them, okay? And I learnt that the hard way. Because when I did the summer baked earlier, Pauline rang me, I went and answered the phone, and I came back and I had a pile of cinders in the oven, so that's why. Right, there's no need to clean the mixer for the next ones, because that is basically just vanilla flavoured. It's not going to harm. You know, if you're going to do it like I'm going to do, most people only make one lot of cookies. I'm doing 2 for you today. I would normally use a clean mixing bowl, but I can't be bothered. And there's no need. So is everybody up to snuff with that so far?
Loads of people just watching. And
right, okay.
I'll have another biscuit, please, while you're passing.
Well, they're not biscuits, because there is a difference. You see, you sound like Paul saying the biscuits. There is a disparate difference between a cookie and a biscuit.
I'll have this one here.
Yeah,
nice.
I thought you would. Okay. So we're going to make, I think it was Christmas time when I did the big cookie bake. I did peanut butter cookies. And there's a lot of people that don't like peanut butter, and I tried to explain to you at the time that they don't taste of peanut butter, they just taste like peanut cookies, okay? Peanut butter is basically just peanuts that have been blitzed, yeah? And
I've just eaten one, they don't taste like peanut butter.
Right? They'll just taste like nut cookies. But a lot of people asked me for the recipe for it, and I was sorry that I didn't put it on at Christmas, so I decided I'd do it for you today, because it is, again, a doddle. It's so easy.
So,
what?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah?
So why are you using peanut butter if they don't taste of peanut butter? Can you not just use some nuts?
No, because then you would have to start crushing the nuts, grinding them in a food processor to make the actual cream of the butter, because you'll realise with the thing, with the way it's going to work.
And Lord is drooling. No, Jane and Lord is drooling.
Jane, oh God, are you? Right, so in here I've got, this one is in your American cup recipe, so I sincerely hope you bought a set of cups. The other one was in ounces. This one is an American recipe, so it's an American cup measurement. Buy the set of cup measurements. Don't use a teacup. Don't start measuring me, messaging me saying, can I use a mug and a teacup? No, it doesn't work. Buy a set of measuring cups off eBay or Amazon or something.
£2.
£2 a pop, okay? So into your mixing bowl, you've got half a cup of room temperature butter and half a cup of peanut butter. I've used coarse peanut butter because David likes the lumps of nuts to actually be in it, okay? You can use the smooth one if you want to use the smooth one. I've never tried it, I've only ever used that. And then into there also is half a cup of white table sugar.
Lee, it's Dylan is running around with his tie and it's got a squeak in it.
It's half a cup of white table sugar. It's so pro, listening with the dogs airing up and down the house. Half a cup of table sugar, white table sugar, and half a cup of packed dark brown sugar, okay? And when I say packed, it means when you measure it with the measuring cup, press it down with your hand. Don't just scoop it up, because it needs to be packed. That's what's giving you the measurement. That's going to go into your mixer again now. And you want that to go on high and let it beat again until you become a light and fluffy texture. We're going to scrape the bowl down very shortly. Okay, so we've got any questions while that's going?
Well, Joanne's just said, what are you making today? So obviously she's not there at 3
Joanne,
o'clock.
you've only just tuned in. We're making cookies. We've just made melting moments that are in the oven, and at the moment we're making peanut butter cookies, okay? I wish these people would keep up to snuff. All mincing about. What I will do is, I'm just going to wash my hands, because that butter from the piping bag has made my hands really greasy and I'm slipping off it.
Right, Keith Powell said, have you ever done a beef Wellington on here? As I always get a soggy bottom, pardon the pun.
No, I'm not on the cookery programme, I'm not, because we tended to keep the baking and not savouries. We've only done one savoury, which was at the beginning of this series, and it was, we did the goat's cheese quiche. If I make beef Wellington, which I don't very often, because David and I are like Philistines, and we don't care what the brand of beef is, what the cut of the beef is, how much it's cost, we like beef brown all the way through. The slightest glimmer of pink, David and I won't eat it. So if I make beef Wellington, I pot roast a piece of beef first, and then let it go stone cold. Then I add the mushroom pate, or whichever pate you're using, wrap within the pastry and then bake it from that. I do find in the past, when I've made it properly, that the pastry on the bottom does tend to stay wet because you've got the fat from the beef going through it, which is adding to the full pastry. So that's the only way I can sort of explain it to you.
Hiya, Marge.
That's the way I do it. Hello, Marge, how are you? I saw you went, oh God, I've just ripped the top off. I saw you had a lovely time in Scotland, darling.
Michael Reed has said, I love your home and style is divine, so classy and yet comfy. Did you or David do it?
We both did it, darling.
I'll let you answer that.
I sort of choose everything. Everything in the house is vintage. And let me just put this back on because I scraped that down. I can tell you see why this is going. I've got an absolute hatred, beyond hatred, of anything that is new. I can't stand new things. So everything is old, everything is vintage, everything has been repainted. And every fabric in the house is vintage 1970s, early 1980s Laura Ashley fabrics, originals, not copies. I won't have it if it's a copy. So I come up with sort of the idea, because decorating is a slight obsession, and then David builds it or puts it together or does the decorating or makes it. We very rarely get somebody in to do it. And a lot of the pieces that we've had now for over 20 years. Some of them are even older, some of them are heirloom pieces, some of them are antique pieces. And my theme of decorating is always white upon white. I never have coloured furniture like sofas. If I buy leather furniture, if I buy a pattern sofa or a fabric that's in a deep colour, everything is basic white, so that at least 3 to 4 times a year I can remove the drapes, the throw pillows, the rugs, the accessory pieces, take them all out of the room and replace it with another set. So each season the house sort of changes. We just yesterday, wasn't it? Put the house back to being the summer look, which is all the shades of lemons and greens upon white. You'll see in a bit when we go for coffee in the drawing room, so you can have a look there. But, thank you for your compliment anyway. We get lots of compliments about the house, and there is things on the internet about it anyway, and there's house tours as well, so, of all the houses. But this is house number 34 for me, and almost 20 years David and I have been together. This is house number 18, so it's a bit more than an obsession, I'd say. So I'm glad of those questions, because otherwise we'd just be stood there bored while we were waiting for that.
Well, Joanne Spencer's got a question while you're doing
that. Go on, Joe.
I've always fancied doing a meatloaf. Could you do one of those?
Yeah, I do. I make a fabulous meatloaf. I make two. I do a spicy Mexican meatloaf, and I also do...
I think she means on the programme. It's a bit much on the programme,
and it's a bit much to cook on the programme, because I'll do a stills of that one for you, Joe, because I make meatloaf an awful lot, and I'll do it this week. And I make a fabulous deep south one that my friend Paula Dean, who's the famous chef, television chef in America, who's a very good friend of mine. It's her recipe, and it's amazing. Okay, so you can have a go at that one. And I love meatloaf. I love meatloaf sandwiches when it's cold from the fridge. Adore it. So you've beaten together in there your half a cup of butter, half a cup of peanut butter, half a cup of white sugar, and half a cup of packed brown sugar. Okay, into that now you're going to put half a teaspoon of baking powder. This is the one that's going to make you all go, what? Half a teaspoon of black pepper. Okay. Well, I've got two. It's one large egg, but because I buy the eggs from the farm in Daisy Mill, they've come out this week. Teeny tiny eggs. So those two teeny tiny ones make one large one. A dash of vanilla. And then it's a cup and a quarter of all-purpose flour. I keep forgetting what the UK thing is. Plain. A cup and a quarter of plain flour. Okay. And then
Billy Reid. Hi, Terry and David sending out love. Billy and Jamie.
Hiya, Billy.
Paul Whitehead. Does David put everything up? Question mark.
Yeah, he always does. Puts everything up. Anything he can get his hands on. Biscuits, cookies.
I'll put you up anyway, any big Paul.
Make sure you get, you're going to need a jug, a little jug or a cup or a glass, whatever, and a fork with some water in it, okay? You're going to need, I've got a set of ice cream scoops that come into the smaller sizes. This is the tiny one, okay? Invest in them, they really are an investment. It's easier, you get every cookie comes out the same, you're not messing about then with...
Oh, thanks Maggie. Maggie said, you have the most amazing home and are the perfect hosts.
Oh,
well, you should know, my love.
Well, you should know. You've been here often enough, Max. You've been to virtually every party we have. So, and it's a shame this year we can't do a birthday party for David this year because it falls at Easter. And of course I'm in Liverpool on Easter Saturday. Then we've got the Easter Sunday, which you can't do a party this Sunday. And then David's back at work, and then the next day is his birthday. So it's... But we are going to have a garden party, Max, in August for David and I's anniversary. So we will have that. So I'm sure you'll be at that one. Right, that's fully combined.
Max Killer. How many videos have you done so far? I've seen the banana cake one and this one. They are fab. I love watching you.
Who's asked that?
Max Killer.
Right, well Mags, you need to follow this properly. There is a link on my page which will appear again today, 20 minutes or so after we finish the live broadcast. And all the videos, this is season 2, we did a whole set last year and this is season 2. And they're all on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, but they're all on there and there's lots of them.
Boobs looking perky today, love. David Hodge.
Right, Miss Hodge, everybody today is obsessed with my boobies. And as nobody's even noticed, by the way, that my hair is like, as Miss Hodge said last week, how long my hair was. There was extensions in it, which have come out, and no, I looked like mutton dressed as lamb. It looked ridiculous at my age. Okay, keep an eye, because I did say only 10 to 12 minutes. Another cookie sheet, obviously, for these. Now these you get a lot more out of. If you want to make huge, big ones, you know, not...
Can't you use a bigger scoop then?
You can make them with a big scoop if you want, but I would say that is big enough.
Is that with a small scoop?
This is with this scoop. Unless you want to make the giant ones like I do at Christmas or I make for the kids, that's a completely different thing. It's not a different thing, it's just basically using a bigger scoop. So, you see, with your ice cream scoop, you get each one, the nails come in useful at time. If you're using the scoops, each cookie then is exactly the same size. You're not trying to measure it with a teaspoon and a tablespoon and things like that, okay? And it's a much, you know, I tried to teach you easier ways to doing it, but you have got to sort of invest in a few bits and pieces. But I get these people messaging me saying, oh, it's alright for you, you can afford all this stuff and you've got piles of this, piles of that. It doesn't cost a lot of money, you know, you just buy the cheapest version of it. And I'm not one of these people that believes in buying the most expensive thing, or a spatula's got to have KitchenAid written on it to make it into, if, you know, if the piece of equipment does the job, buy the cheapest. Yeah? I don't believe in spending an absolute fortune. They're just slightly wrongly spaced because I was talking to you, not looking. Make sure you've got them evenly spaced. Then with the fork dipped in water, just press down one way and then the other. Okay? One and then the other. So has everybody followed this so far? Has anybody got a question?
No, they're all watching. You've answered all the questions.
Anybody new joined us?
Mark Lynch, Mark Anthony.
Hi Mark. I'm Mark.
Heather Thompson.
Hiya Heath. How are you, my darling? Heather's my friend from school, if there is wondering why I got quite excited about that. There was a thing on Facebook the other day, actually, that quite shocked me. Pardon me. It said how many people from school, from your class of whatever year, are you still in contact with? And I actually had to put everybody, because all the girls, all my girlfriends from school, I'm in contact with every single one of them. I know the kids and I know everything, you know. And trust me, like when we were at school, you were still writing with a quill and ink. So, yeah. Right, these will be ready to come out the oven, so I can show you those as these go in. The oven temperature is exactly the same for these, but this is a longer bake. This is around 15 to 20 minute bake.
David Hodge said if you used lactose...
Yeah, lactose.
Instead of sugar, would it work?
No. You could use... I forgot what it's called now. There's the actual sugar substitute that's calorie free. Now you can use that, sucrin is it called? You can use that. But it's got to be the sugar, the granulated sugar, and because I'm talking to you...
Are you having trouble getting them out?
Yeah, because I've trapped the tray underneath the edge. I always knew one week I would do something that went wrong, and it's the first week I've done something wrong, and I've put the baking sheet in the oven the wrong way round, so that the handle to the baking sheet is on the back. There you go, that's how they come out of the oven, okay? Do not take them off the baking tray yet. They must cool on the baking tray. Those can go straight back in.
Nicola, I'll bring some tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll send a Tupperware tomorrow, Nicola. Yeah? Okay? How many of you is there? 1 of you, 2 of you, 500 of you?
There's only 1 of Nicola.
Well, Nicola, no, but usually there's a gang of you all sit there then woofing into
There'll be about 4 or 5 of us tomorrow.
Right, let them cool on the cookie sheet. If you try to take them off while they're still hot, they will just literally shatter. So let them cool down. Not a lot, only sort of a few minutes. Once I've poured coffee and things, I'll show you that they can come off. And then take them from the cookie sheet.
They look scrumptious, David said.
Onto a wire rack to cool off completely. Use a fish slice. Don't, try and start doing them with your fingers, because then I'll get people...
You just said don't get them off.
I've said leave them for a couple of minutes, and that actually... I'm used to it and I can tell. And you should know my theory on things. It's one rule for me, another one for everybody else. Okay?
Don't touch that cookie. It's too hot. Don't move it.
No, I'm not going to touch the cookie sheet. Not that stupid. It won't be now. It'll have gone cool. Right, okay. So when they're off now, you can either dust them with, I'll show you, we'll dust them with a little bit of confectioner's sugar.
Carol Baker said, well done, get a vodka.
Who said?
Carol Baker.
Carol did. I could do with one, to be honest with you, for Carol today. I'll grab a spoon.
Dylan's waiting for one.
He actually look. Well, doggies don't eat.
Dylan's waiting for one.
Doggies don't eat sugar-filled things, my darling. Make you poorly, okay? It makes them look far more pretty.
Christmassy in March.
If you just give them a dusting.
Yeah, fine.
Of confectionery
Nice.
sugar. And there you go, that's it. Leave those now to cool.
Okay, Maggie, and you.
Why, where's Maggie?
Maggie, she's in work as well tomorrow, she means.
Oh, right. So Maggie, you want some as well, darling. I'll make sure you've got a special one. And there you go. That's it. They're your cookies for the afternoon. And if you want to be absolutely so over the top like I am, get your husband to buy you a nice sterling silver biscuitaire from Fortnum and Masons. Okay. So that's it for this week. We'll pour some coffee and we'll go and have a chat. Because those are okay in the oven. I think I've got dropsy this week. Sort of knock things over, drop things. Right, okie doke. So we shall go through. Am I going this way? You've done that to fill my ass, haven't you?
It's big enough.
Oh, so rude.
There's the curtains, that's been put back on.
Yeah, I've changed
Michael.
I changed the room, Michael.
Cushions.
It was pink. We were pink and blue. I always, after Christmas and winter, the house changes. As you can see, all the furniture's white, everything's white. After Christmas, I always change, during Christmas, sorry, and after. We always have warm autumnal colours. I have reds. At Christmas, I have Christmas pillows, obviously. But the rest of the time, it's sort of reds and golds and browns and things like that. And into deep purple. And then as that finishes, I like to just give it a little bit of a lift, and I keep white curtains up there, and I had pink and powder blue right up till Sunday from the end of January. So now we're all lemon, which this will run us right. This is the longest one I do. This stays in the house now until around fall, autumn time, when then it will change to autumnal colours and things. But also, as I said, I do decorate for Easter. Which you won't see next week, because next week I don't have a live feed.
Nicola said bravo, well done, they're fab.
Alright, so I don't have a live feed next week, but the week after Mother's Day, the Sunday afterwards,
You're welcome, Maggie.
we're doing a really special show where it's a question and answer. If you've seen the post on Facebook, or if you've not seen it, go to my page and try and keep up to snuff, so I don't have to keep repeating myself. I'm just have some coffee because I'm parched. We're going to do a complete question and answer show where you can ask me anything. So when I say anything, it is within reason. I'm not going to start answering ridiculous questions or dirty questions.
I won't read them out if
because
anything
there's
like
kids
that
on
come
it,
up anyway.
okay? I have a lot of children that watch the show, so we're not going to start answering stupid things. I will answer things about social prejudice and things, which I was asked would I do that, and yes I will. But if you don't want to ask the question live, during the next week or so, private message me a question that you want to ask. And it can be about anything you want, from decorating, to cooking, to personal things, to about me, to about my career, to about the years I've been in the business, to all the different things I've done where we've lived, me and David, relationship issues, anything you want to ask me. Basically, it came about because somebody said you should do a Q&A, because I constantly, on a daily basis, get people asking me things on Facebook. And can I do this? Should I do that? How do I fold a towel? How do I do that? How do I do the other thing? What do you think about this? What do you think about Brexit or Weetabix or whatever it's called that's going on at the minute? So I'm sick of answering questions. So the easier way to do it is we're going to do a whole hour's show where you can sit and ask questions. But please have the questions prepped, because I'm not prepared to sit for an hour's show and just sit rambling about one thing and have no question to answer. It's not going to work. So if you're going to want to ask questions, and also I want to point out to you, please be patient with the questions. If somebody's just asked one and you see it go up on the screen, don't bang a question up immediately, because David's not a mind reader. He can't read, at that speed. So we'll sort of say next question. So that's what we're going to do the week after next.
Graham's got a question.
Go on, Graham.
We have warm hands in my garden. Is it warm hands? Warm winds in my garden. Is it okay to put bedding out to dry on a Sunday?
I never hang washing out on a Sunday. Only whores put washing out there. If I hung washing out on my line on a Sunday, my grandmother would turn in her grave. I am sorry, no, I do not put washing out on a Sunday. I think it's a social... I don't believe in going to grocery stores on a Sunday. I don't believe in shops being open on a Sunday. So certainly not pegging washing out on a Sunday. If you can't get things done in 6 days of a week, my wash day is Monday, laundry day is Monday, when it's this constant line after line after line. And I'm really excited because this week is the first week I can actually peg out, because as you all know, I don't own a tumble dryer. So I've never owned a tumble dryer. I don't like them. So washing gets pegged on the line, or it goes on the rack in the...
Hi Shirley, how are you, love?
Wait, is that Shirley?
Shirley White, who we used to work with.
Hello, Shirley.
Heard of you for a while.
I've known you for ages. The last time I saw you was at your birthday party. Are you well, Shirley?
Lee's asking a question. Lee Leby.
Yeah, go on, Lee.
Is Davey going to do the show with you? Can we ask him questions? I'll answer that, Lee. No.
You'll answer a question if somebody asks you. But
I'll be behind the camera,
but he'll ask a question and we'll
I'll answer it.
Sort of hold the phone and turn it
if I can answer it.
But he'll answer a question if you want him to. Yeah.
Graham said, "Oops, mine is out." He's on about his washing.
Oh well, that's up to you. See, if you put washing out in Failsworth on a Sunday, especially...
Well, that goes for you as well, Maggie. Maggie said, "Shit, better get mine in."
Yeah, well, Maggie, and your Failsworth down it, and especially if on Lord Lane, if you had washing out on a Sunday, you'd be the talk of the post office. I am telling you. That tripound in the post office, she'll have a face like a yard of tripe every Monday morning, calling everybody rotten for having washing out on a Sunday. So we got anything else? Because we've got about...
Not yet, no.
We've got about 7 or 8 minutes before the end of the show.
No.
So, I want to remind you all, by the way, on Easter Saturday, that I'm in Liverpool at the... Got my copy?
James Monroe.
At the James Monroe. Okay, so come down and see us, because it's the most fantastic venue. Because you all heard Kitty later. It's Kitty's venue and Kitty's husband. And it's the most fantastic venue, so come down and see us. That's going to be a really good show. And then, of course, after that, it's back to up and down the country and back to Wales and then up to Carlisle. And I'm getting far too old for all this. I really am. But, you know, when a girl turns 30, that's it. So, any other questions?
No.
Anybody just joined us?
Doug from Spain. Hiya, Doug.
Hiya, Doug. Hello, my dear. Do you know, there's people popped up today that I've not heard of for ages. Well, I see you all, obviously, because I see you on Facebook, but people I've not heard of for so long. I'm Doug. How are you?
Katarina said, "What's the worst thing you've seen on a washing line?"
What's the worst thing I've seen on a washing line? Well, not particularly round here. When we lived in Blackpool, I had a neighbour 2 doors down, and I used to be appalled at the way she hung the washing out. Because I'm a stickler for the way the washing is hung out. I mean, I am a bit anal, I will actually admit that, and I am a bit OCD, as they call it nowadays. I like things like t-shirts together, shorts together, sheets together. I don't like washing all mixed up, and I also am a bit of a bugger. I will pick the pegs out and put 2 red, 2 green. So I had a neighbour, and a washing, she'd put whites out, and they were chewing gum white, which I'm sorry, there's no need for. Use a glow white. And also she'd wash black clothes, and as they went on the line, they were covered, absolutely covered in bits, honestly, which I'm appalled by, absolutely appalled by. So, but I'm a bit of a stickler for doing things the old-fashioned way. You know, there's only one way to do it, my way, and it works. So that
Lee Lieben said, "I've got to go. My roots are due off. Lots of love to you both."
You've not sat me. Have you sat with a colour on while you were while I was doing that?
See you in 2 weeks.
Send a picture of you with your hair change.
Michael.
Which Michael?
Michael Reed from USA.
Yeah.
We can answer that question, Michael, unless we save it for 2 weeks' time. What? It's up to you if you want to save it. He said, "Did you enjoy Come Dine With Me?"
Yes, we loved it.
He said that's how he discovered you in the USA.
Yeah, I know you did, darling, because you sent me a lovely message. Yes, we really enjoyed filming it. There's other things going to coming up. That's why we've continued the cooking programme. You enjoyed it, didn't you, as well, darling?
Yes, I did, yeah.
We had an absolute ball doing it, so thank you very much. And later in the year, by the way, if you're in, we're in LA and we're in Vegas as well in November time. So if you're around anywhere of those cities or you're there on vacation or something, make sure you come and say hello to me. So is that anybody else?
No.
Nothing? What pinged then? That was a ping.
It's a personal message.
Oh, it's personal. There'll be somebody sending me something absolutely ridiculous.
Paul Whitehead.
I can imagine what it is of Paul Whitehead. Fully imagine. So, don't forget, if you're going to do the cookies, like I said, if you're going to do the melting moment ones, don't double the quantity up. I advise you not to do. Make it in small amounts like that as a small thing. They store extremely well. They don't freeze when they're cooked. Keep them in an airtight container. Don't mix ever homemade cookies with a shop-bought cookie. The melting moments ones you'd probably get away with because it's a very dry bake. But anything that says cookie in it, it should be slightly chewy. A cookie isn't hard. It's got a chewiness to it. So if you mix those with homemade UK biscuits, it will make the biscuits go soggy. It's like putting a cake with biscuits in a jar. So keep them in completely separate containers, okay? And because our cookie jar in the kitchen's full at the moment, I've got them all in Tupperware in the back, they're in the pantry. There was something else I had to tell you. I do this every week, and there's something I sit there and I think, I must tell them that this week. And then I get on air and I completely forget. So don't forget, if you're going to ask me questions, not next week, the week after, write it down so you don't forget it. Or, as I said, if it's in your head, send it me on a private message, and then I will print it off. So I've got some on paper as well that David can read out in between the ones that are being sent. And we will apologise if it becomes to the point where there's too many questions. We will do another show of that, okay? Because obviously we can only do an hour. They're only hour slots. We can't sort of broadcast for much longer. It'd be a bit beyond a joke, to be honest with you, wouldn't it?
Mm.
We're turning into Phil and Holly. So that's sort of it for this week. We're going to wind up now, and I won't see you next week, as I said, because it's Mothering Sunday. So have a lovely day if you're a mummy. If you're going to do the bake, make sure that you take photographs and show me. I love to see the photographs of what you've all made. And also, don't forget, below this post, well, after this post goes on, sorry, above it will be the link to the YouTube channel. Please click the link, open the link, and then click subscribe. If you don't subscribe to the YouTube channel, you're going to miss the other videos that don't go onto Facebook. There are videos that go directly to YouTube channel, and they don't get shown on Facebook, so you need to go on there. Especially the house ones. There's house tours on there. There's one about China and how to lay a dinner table. There's a couple of others on there as well. So if you go onto there, you'll see the other films. So it's been lovely to have you again in our palatial home on a Sunday afternoon. And have a lovely day. Say tra, David.
Ta-ra, David.
Bye, everybody. See you.
Bye, bye, bye.